This is Colin. I'm here with Mirko from UNIX, and today we have another amazing AMA session planned. The UNIX NFTs. We've been waiting very patiently for 1 week. The exciting news. What can you tell us? What have you planned out? What is the purpose?
Yeah, it's a 10,000 NFT collection. I mean, that's like pretty common, like the numbers. It's definitely, of course, it's not a CCO collection or something like that, nothing fancy, but it's completely driven by the community. I think it just fits super in the ecosystem, because to have, let's say, a token as a payment, for example, is harder, I think, to integrate on several platforms instead of an NFT. So because I see an NFT, first of all, like a little bit like a MasterCard, what is like have perks, or like a membership card, and you have more and more discounts among these let's say restaurants or shops and so on, you know what I mean? Like, so, and especially in crypto and various, like, it don't need to be definitely only gaming. It can be for a lot of different things in the future as well, so yeah, it's basically called noobs, it's like because we're a gaming guild there. So
yeah, that's a good name.
And I checked it, it's also unique, it's not really used, there's so many names used, and noobs is definitely the name. I have no concept art yet, but definitely all the characters are related to gaming, let's say Gordon Freeman from Half-Life. He is famous for this orange suit, and in front you have this Half-Life logo. So, one noob wearing that suit, one noob wearing the red shirt and have the yellow hair from Duke Nukem, with the sunglasses. Everything goes into the gaming direction, because I believe that there's also a lot of people who can identify themselves with these retro games, or with World of Warcraft, or with other several characters, because you spend time on that. I think this is it's a unique collection character on that side, and I think it's gonna be pretty cool. So, you because, like, imagine you've been a hardcore Half-Life gamer and you want Gordon Freeman, it's like that's my my NFT, my noob. So it's like, I think to get this kind of factor, so that you like a kind of a rare Pokemon. I understand that there's rarities on NFTs that are sometimes super random. You have like the golden bored ape, for example. Yeah, I mean, this is just golden. There's nothing really related to what you can identify personally with, and I love Gordon Freeman. If I would see him and I could get him, on a secondary market, then maybe I would chase him. You know what I mean? So I think that's from the concept, how to, of course, find an audience, but also I think this is also important to separate a little bit, because not necessarily all the collectors are, or there's many more people who drive the NFT space, but a lot of people are just there for the money, and giving them a little bit more reason maybe to buy your utility for game inspiration and so on, with a good thought process behind. I think this is also important. Otherwise you end up maybe to be one project among a lot of projects, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think what is already unique on the NFT is basically that you have instant utility, because this is once this goes out, that the launchpad is live, there's the app coming, and there's more what will be unlocked, of course, a roadmap, but it's already like actively working. So there's not a fundraising like a startup on this NFTs. I think this is very important, and that's why we go a little bit higher pricing on that. But also long term, we have more to offer also, you know, like I think we're looking at 1 Ethereum, 1.5 Ethereum, what we want to raise on each NFT.
So it's about in the current market, it's about $32 million.
Yeah, this is something what we, I mean, think about, you know, it's like really, I mean, we have, and this is not only that we have the NFT collection, also, you know, an NFT project need also a little bit credibility in the NFT space. I'm not famous in the blue chip or you, or, you know, like, and we have the person who will support us there is Alan Hina. So he is the chief strategy officer on Gary V NFT. So he will be basically find the community manager. He help with illustration, with setup, with strategy to get to the market. And he, of course, he will be part of, you know, the team what is on the deck. And so this is something important, I think, to drive us a project, you know, to give a little bit like a kind of a a leadership person in the space to have him basically as a face advisor. Also, there will be a collaboration with his current NFT project, what is what I don't name yet because it's nothing official. Once we live and we announce,
right? Yeah, of course.
Do that. Yeah, so I think this is already a very important, and I think that's why we can step up with the price, and not only because of that, because also because we will heavily working for this NFT collection. So again, back to the point, this is 10,000 piece, of course, rarities, we have different perks again, to summarize is the allocation from Launchpad, where you basically have we use the VRM from Chainlink on that. So it's basically you participate in the public when we have public races. It's not always public and common, uncommon, you know, it depends on really on the tiers, and, you know, like and this is something we don't know. It's we can unlock after we see how popular the Launchpad is. If there's maybe the option to that maybe several rarities or with a different floor price, that we also unlock more higher tiers, you know what I mean? Like, so let's say you have a very unique one and have this in this floor, and then you also maybe have rare or epic, you know, but very limited, because we don't want to interfere with the Launchpad community, because it's definitely two different communities, right?
Right.
And so we work also with ENS. We do something about a gamer ENS for noobs, and setting up kind of a dashboard, but this is longer down the road. So it's basically your activities are tracked through your ENS if you want to set it up or not. There's a partnership with MetaTag. MetaTag is basically, it's also for gamers, but can be used for a lot of various stuff. So it gives you the option, same as it works as the ENS, some kind of, it's kind of not the wallet address. It's like your digital domain, and you can basically donate on the domain. It will goes to your wallet, you know. So like Twitch have this donation, right? So
right,
it's pretty common. And why a donation is because, you know, there's many creators, you know, and there's so many people, especially in the NFT space, people building discords, they you know, doing art, they're doing so much free stuff to build community, and basically to have a possibility to reward them, highlight their tag, you know, that people can donate basically on the tag. This is something, as a partnership, is basically you have to mint it, so there's the mint price, you know, is and this with our NFT, basically you can mint it for free, you know. There's something you can have as a perk. Not right away. This will be, you know, like strategically
Yeah, of course.
stretched on
like
the
on the
roadmap.
roadmap.
And then we had actually a plan before, and we shifted a little bit. So because the other side being we understand and now how the let's say the level works, and you know that they have the SDK for everything. And we basically, what we anyway do already is developing Sandbox, Decentraland, Axie on their SDK, you know. So we will basically now, and not only because of the NFT collection, but also with UNIX Gaming, we will really shift to other side. And really we want to develop a lot on, you know, character design, item design, resources, level, mini games, rich games, and so on. So there's a lot of things we want to develop anyway with our game studio. So basically with the NFT collection, you get, if you have hold one NFT, you can claim one time a 3D character for the other side. Yeah, a noob character. That's it's basically a perk. It's a free mint. We will develop basically for all the collection that with our game studio and the SDK of other side. And of course, we use parts of the fund now really to depends on, you know, you need to have kind of, yeah, other side is Bored Ape Yacht Club. And putting really more funds into the other side and their land, and because what I see, or what a shift came, and why we changed strategy, and the good thing is because we are not live, right? So we have to, and we didn't really announce except this AMA today to go really public with what we want to do there. But
alpha information once again.
But it's, you know, like Bitcoin is very strong because it's the dominance of the market. And I believe, or we see internally with our partners, that YUGA, with all the collections they have and what they build, they're the kind of the Bitcoin of the NFT space. So yeah, they will move the market, you know, so like they setting standards and trends, and they basically, of course, there's a lot of innovation. I'm not saying they're BD dominance, but it's kind of building on Bitcoin. You know, if we build on other side, you know, if we focusing on other side. So it's Axie Infinity, I think, is not so strong, and even it's like they take that as an example of this in GameFi, but I think other side is so strong in NFT, and then also it will swap into a game, right? Once it's live, and then there's a tokenized, right. It's also relate to gaming now, really. Before Bored Ape Yacht Club wasn't, so now it's really fit in our ecosystem. So it's a perfect match actually with what we already established, for example, with the ecosystem builder partnership on Sandbox and Axie, for example, and now plugging that in as a utility, and really like, because all the items, it's same in Sandbox. Just Sandbox, maybe you remember there was like all these collections, they gave you a free, or even Cyberkongs, they sold their voxel character. You know, there you have the Kongs, baby Kongs, and then you have the vox, and this is the character for the Sandbox, you know. So if you have that, you can play basically a Cyberkong in Sandbox. And now, believe me, everybody will do that for other side. The Sandbox, nobody from the NFT space, I think Sandbox is not interested anymore. You know, so everybody will go there, and this is like a huge shift. So, and I think it's really good. And having the 3D character, you can then join the game. It's basically your ticket to enter, and then we can build items. And this is something, I mean, I can say that here. What I'm thinking, because you can do resources and also create resources. So, and I was thinking, just replicate. I need to understand the SDK, and I will definitely, again, if we have funds, I will push funds in development that we develop. But let's say a fishing hook with several you know, like World of Warcraft, several types of fish. Then, you know, like this is just an example, but you know, slowly build this resource system, what you have in World of Warcraft, the auction house, you know, like building that like with a full rollout of like maybe 1,000 fishing tackles, and then with this you have different resources among the game, or different games where you can basically get the resources, and then we create an economy, because you at the end will earn as a creator on all these resources, all the items. And this is just one thing: weapons, tools, games, houses, whatever. So there's so many things, tower defenses, whatever you want. It's like really, there's so much creativity. Of course, we would have a lot of limitations if the SDK is like on Sandbox, for example, because Sandbox actually, if you build there, you can build an open world where people can walk. That's one thing. But if you want to build a game, it's not yet even multiplayer possible. Can you imagine? I didn't know that. I like once before. So once we got our partnership and we got finally the tools, and we, you know, they say, oh man, you can only play alone. What is that? You know, because they have, I mean, they want to enhance that. But so of course we see maybe facing challenges if the SDK is not really good advanced. I hope it is, because
would they not like expand it along the way, perhaps?
Can be, but it should be right in the beginning. If you open up the SDK and let's say, oh guys, now you build the metaverse, you know, and you can only build that little because you have not enough tools, then your metaverse looks Tetris or Lemmings, you know. But if you want to at least get to the level of Commander Keen or whatever, yeah, or other games, then you need to have like more and more tools.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a question about the other side with the graphics. Not really sure how it looks, but it's like the mini games can be very different. So it's basically, imagine, so the land is basically a portal, let's say, and then which represent a game experience you can enter, and then you enter basically a game outside of the so every game can have different graphics a little bit, you know, like you have limitations. And yeah, I mean, the land plots is really still unclear, for example, on YUGA, on the other deeds, what is really all these utilities, because there's so many ways, like there's like a 5-layer, right? There is the sentiment, you know, there is the location is important of the rarity, sentiment, the tier, you have stars from 1 to 5, then what type of it, there's like east, west, north, south, and then it's really complex that you understand really what they actually have planned to build from their side.
Yeah,
it's super exciting, and I think we will catch a lot of audiences there.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's definitely the #1 thing. I seen an update today on Illuvium Lens Hill. That's going to be massive as well. Did you see the article? I think it's also 200,000 land plots, something like this, where it's a huge collection. Illuvium.
Illuvium, yeah.
But there's 5 tiers, and like it's 1 to 5 Ethereum, 5 to 10, 10 to 50, and then the 5th tier is 80 Ethereum. So again, it's also, well, probably a $600-800 million deal, right? So they're definitely trying to push.
I'm a little bit curious with all these land drops, you know, because I see it like in Illuvium, they should have already raised enough money, in my opinion, you know, like they have already token raised, they sold already NFTs, and now they're having another land drop. I even didn't know that. And the game, I mean, some footage they had better gameplay. Was okay, yeah.
I thought it looked good.
Yeah, but it's like you need another 200 million or whatever what they want to raise to or 50 to buy, and you know, like this is like just concerns, you know. If these land really have utility, then I have no problem with that. I think Blocktopia, they dropped also land. or they're going to drop land. And then you need to buy it, you need to buy a block token. So yeah, it is like I feel in Blocktober case personally, I feel this is a to support the token and to make more money. This is my, and even I like the project, but they had like really problems with the tokenomics, with token release and whatever. They had some mess up. I don't know if it's big or small, but of course there've been a lot of people not happy about that. And then, you know, oh yeah, now we make a land drop and we use our token. So this is, I don't know if this is then fixed.
Fill up the treasury and fix it, basically.
Yeah. No, so yeah, that's basically it. Of course, the esport team we still do, but you know, not extensive. Is something you need to grow over time from the funds, you know. So, and then of course the noobs, we have also an event, most probably. We're still looking for all the partners. It's going to be most probably October in Dubai, Coca-Cola Arena. It's going to be Entrepreneur, Diverse, UNIX, Sandbox. We hope
Digits.
We hope that, you know, our guys from Andy and Simon, they arrived in Singapore to meet Don Kwan, you know.
Oh yeah, he told me.
Luna.
Yeah, exciting.
Very exciting, yeah. And yeah, so we tried to get him on, and CZ, you know, but Sandbox is definitely coming. And of course, other games and gaming partners, it's kind of, we have Galaxy Racer, what's a huge esport tournament provider. They recently hosted the biggest Dota 2 tournament ever with the biggest prize pool in Dubai. So, and yeah, having kind of a blockchain gaming GameFi event with after parties, of course, and then also an esport tournament live during that period. So
that would be dope.
Yeah. So, and then, yeah, of course you get kind of, I don't know if we can get 10,000 tickets for that, but at least we need to see how is the size and how many tickets we have in total. We need to talk with the marketing team there and with the, you know, event host. I mean, who will basically coordinate all that stuff. But for sure, there is either discount or at least 1,000 tickets confirmed we can give away for that event through the Noobs collection. So there's something again, like, and you know, for esport events, gaming events, and you know, there's more and more, I mean, projects within the UNIX ecosystem, you know, like what is the Noobs, but you cannot map that out because you know, you need to look at the market, which projects you have, which one giving a see in October. So there's like, yeah, so many ways to incentivize communities, right? But we need, of course, on the UNIX side, get our launch period live, get really the market that, you know, this is attractive that games and projects want to launch. And then you have always a never ending, I would say, utility, basically, because you always can make up something with your projects you have anyway on the other side, not the other side, I mean like UNIX gaming, and then the loops. So yeah, and then of course the collection is will be something like not like board apes that you kind of, so there's these serums, right, to upgrade to mint a mutant. And basically you will earn skill, but this is not a token with no liquidity. It's just basically as a counter. So you can earn skill, you can trade skill, but this is, we don't know how which marketplace this would be, or how we will most probably build that in our website. But the thing is, skill is basically to upgrade later on for serum, or let's say I don't know how to call it. Skill makes you better. So it's basically kind of the blue or the red pill from Matrix.
Then your noob becomes a pro.
Becomes elite. You know, this elite. This is kind of back in the days as well. and then having another drop. But this is like, again, when everything builds on each other. This was one successful. You build some out, you have more community, people love it or not. We need to really see. I think it's super important in that space to listen to the community and read their mood, you know, and of course release on time. I think at the moment it's actually a good market. Even there's like a lot of eyes on the NFT space, and I also for the success of the NFT drop, I think being so heavy tying your roadmap into YUGA, you know, that's also, oh yeah, you know, like people is they, you know, they because the problem is, I think for a lot of the psychology is like Bored Ape is too expensive, Mutant is too expensive as a retail, right? Who missed the train. And so what can I, okay, but what I can do with that? You don't want to have this dog, you know, it's like, you know, even
it's something, but it's not really what you want.
Yeah, so there is, of course, you can get a Meebit that could be maybe cheap, but it's like still expensive. And having a new collection, not of course sponsored by Bored Ape Yacht Club, but building on that and giving you the 3D model, and you will see more coming with that concept, like with a free 3D model for or maybe paid, who knows. Yeah. And yeah, I think this is like onboarding more people in their metaverse. This will YUGA, and we hope we can get in contact with them to, you know, on the builder program, you know, to share what we want to do. We are already working on level concepts on our game studio, but of course we need to understand the SDK completely. But definitely we want to be not to be unprepared for possible, you know, exchange of informations with YUGA, or, you know, the team who is in charge for the SDK. It's not the big guys, right? It's going to be part of the organization, and then, you know, having at least like, oh, this is what we already did on Sandbox, this is what we did on Decentraland, this is from Axie, what we in general did in the traditional gaming, plus then, okay, now we are here and we want to push it hard on the other side in the metaverse. So,
would you in that case push less on the other metaverses?
With the game studio?
Yeah.
Now that's why I'm saying, like, I will with the funding, we will hire more people really to build, to of course we don't let things go, so we just ramp up our game studio, and we have a lot of contacts already since we live, you know, with
and it's the noobs funding that you're referring to.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know, it's like in SDK is not so developer heavy, so you need a few smart people, give them percentage on whatever, give them a noob, make them committed, and you have a never-ending and an evergreen, let's say, dedicated development team, you know, and give them a salary basically. And then, you know, they or maybe even from the secondary, so from royalties, you can incentivize them. You know, you say the developer team, they get percentage. So this one wasn't made yet. How the royalties will be split. But yeah, we want to, of course, incentivize the community, right? And grow and having that as a as a mechanism to grow, basically.
Makes sense. Interesting. In terms of, you know, the utility of the noobs for the ecosystem of UNIX, right? You refer to the launchpad. What about all the other parts of the ecosystem? Because I assume with the price, let's say beyond 1 Ethereum, right? Whatever the price, or around 1 Ethereum, whatever the price might be, you're looking definitely not at your guild, right? Because I assume anything for the scholars, they won't be able to participate, I assume, for these NFTs. What kind of audience are you looking to attract towards UNIX with these NFTs?
It's we built a separate community there. I mean, it's really, we don't want to match them with UNIX Gaming, because it's going to be very different.
Okay, so it will not carry the UNIX branding.
No, it's noobs.
Okay.
It's the team is of course, there's myself, the CTO, there's Alan, the illustrator, and then the partners we have, like UNIX Gaming is a partner, Final Round is a partner, MetaTag, and the project from Alan, and others, what we will line up now. Who is interested to join? Maybe we can get other partnerships already in more game developer side. I mean, our game studio is there. Maybe we find also a larger one, what is maybe interested in that, and maybe already more partnerships, what can in the gaming space, what we do outreach at the moment to gaming brands, like Razer. Let's say you have the NFT, you get a discount on Razer, or you get like whatever, or we can make a, having these kind of these partnerships already, maybe something line up, and having Razer on the deck, why not? Or any other, let's say, gaming player, cool. MSI, Nvidia, all that stuff. So that would be very interesting to have them now. And and then this, I think the gives more, underline more the seriousness of the project. And this, I think, is important, because you're not convincing just by having an awesome roadmap, right? It's really sometimes, and this, I don't like that in this space, it's who or your network is your net worth, something like that.
They're classic.
So, and I think that's a good start for the collection. We definitely, I'm not really experiment, and like UNIX was basically, I wouldn't say an experiment, but it was a very unique concept, a guild, right? So, and we even identified the UNIX as a guild only is not enough. So we put the first white paper, there was already launched with the marketplace, the game, because we have the possibility to do it, and to have a plan B, basically, and so, but in NFTs, you more likely know where you have to, what buttons you have to press, and it's just about the structure and how much effort you put in the beginning. Let's say community building is, I think, one of the most, how you promote, who is the community leader, how many mods, which mods, where you get them from, are they experts, is this random, it's like, so there's a lot of things to just to organize the project around that. And then, of course, who's leading that, who's your advisor, which your partnerships, all that stuff. So there's a lot of things aspects to tick off to basically go out there. So, and then there is a question. If this is an appropriate question, in your opinion, NFA, is a 3.3 floor other deed a good idea?
I like it when they always say not financial advice, but please give me financial advice. Little disclaimer. It's an interesting question. What do you think?
No, I mean, it's like, this is already, I really observed the market for the after launch for 3-4 days, really for hours to purchase, because we didn't have a coder. So we purchased 3 coders, one with weapon, and it's really, and I checked always the base floor, and then I think you should look, this is like 1-star floor. Definitely you need to look on a 5-star floor, and if possible the location is closer to the center.
What are these coders used for?
There's not really yet the total release, or what is but it's definitely you have certain coders what gives you certain abilities on different lands, like you have, they can match with the land, basically with the sentiment or with the environment, so they are stronger on that one. I think it's basically, I think it's the builder of the world, kind of. And you can fight monsters, you can gather resources. Every coder will be, I think, part of something. It's like a peon, I believe, you know. And then there's different the mega coders also not really understand what all that happened. What is that?
Because if you're a player, it makes sense if they would be like NPCs, right? That you could engage with, and then you earn more if you have a coder on your land, because people can do like specific quests or stuff on your land, and this coder is basically the trader or anything like that.
Yeah, coder will having a significant role. This is what we know. That's why we got 3 people saying in the Bored Ape chat that they're going at least to 100 ETH floor.
How much was those coders?
How much?
Yeah. Too much.
The floor is around 22 ETH last time I checked.
Ooh, okay.
And but it's also there's, you know, land that have artifacts. And artifacts is also have kind of in all these resources have tiers and rarities, and the artifacts have rarities. So it's really like, so what we purchased, what we looked for when the market was still lava, yeah, we looked for a high star land with a coder and with an artifact, yeah, because people underpriced that. So let's say a 5-star land was like 5 ETH by that time. An artifact with whatever land, with let's say with the 1-star land, an artifact was at least 3 for Ethereum, a land with an artifact, plus the coder. The coder was by that time was floor around 25, so plus artifact 4 plus 5-star land or 4-star land, that was another 4 or 5 Ethereum. So you've been somewhere with 30. Yeah.
Bless you.
I tried to mute before, but I couldn't.
All good.
Yeah, so the actual price was between 32 and 36 Ethereum for all these 3 things, and we managed to buy one for 24 with all these criterias, 126, and the last one 27.8. Yeah,
pretty good.
And if you buy these things separate, and it was still like I checked really for 3 days the market, and in the beginning there was more nice catches, you know, really sniping exactly that these 3 things, and then it became more slow. You see for hours just the same setup, you know, nothing changed. Yeah, so I think with every release what they do, and you saw everything what they did was massive, and it had always price impact, you know. Of course it was normal that, you know, the Bored Apes going down after the all the things, because the mutants been 40 ETH before the release, and then they went down to 26. It's just normal, you know.
Yeah, of course, that makes sense.
I mean, we definitely want to also with our YouTube channel. I when I'm back in Bali, I'm gonna be really it's like kind of my part of my day to talk about that, because you will have I don't see many YouTube channels continuously talking about all the developments. Now you have a lot of developments. Before you can only talk, oh, Bored Ape, the NFT, but now you have a lot of things to talk about in other side, and then giving him basically the insight from the development plus what's coming. So be the news channel on YouTube also for the other side. I think this is some niche, because if you check the search inquiries is huge. Whatever they do, other deeds, coders, everybody try to find something. You get information about it, but just a one video, or maybe, you know, not dedicated, you know. And this is also something we push in. I think it's a good strategy. And I know you also dropping an NFT around end of June, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I did by that time. I'm not going to do the end of June, but definitely the community is already open, and because in the NFT NYC I want to go there anyway, and then Alan is there, and we want to really, like, you know, there's a lot of heavy NFT people from the blue chip space, so, you know, pitching them, like, not pitching, but like making the connection, inviting them to your project, you know, like that. I think dropping some whitelists and so on. I think it's a good place to have a one-on-one marketing, you know.
Yeah, it's always a good move. I think in general to connect with these individuals is difficult. So if you could catch them in person, I think that's the best thing. I wanted to pick up one question which Thaddeus asked before, which is good because that's one of my favorite topics. And let me see if you agree with my explanation. So he asked, do you think it has no benefit to use a project token to buy the project land or NFTs? What are the pros and cons? So I think that's a very interesting question because there should be a clear distinction why that is done. The whole reason why it is done is the most important thing. So to fix a problem with the tokenomics, sure, right? To stimulate your own token market behavior, sure. But to basically fix a problem with the demand side, that is the problem, right? Because the token should have a utility that fixes the demand. If there's too much supply and the price goes down, you do a raise in your token and your land because you're desperate. That's what I would refer to as Ponzi-nomics, right? There's no economy behind it. So the price crashes. You're trying to artificially manipulate the price by doing a land raise. And that's what Mirko, I think, referred to earlier. If the land has no clear utility on what it's for, then you can basically say it's Ponzi-nomics. They just try to fix a problem with the price to keep their reputation, to keep the price high. But the price, whether it's floor price or token price, in my opinion, is always a direct resemblance of the value that the audience perceived on your project. Whether it's a project or a business or any business in general, that's how it would work.
Yeah, I totally agree that you cannot fix a problem with, you know, for example, use your token to get maybe the token back or to buy the land and make maybe with the land money or whatever this is.
But it's temporary because all the tokens go to the treasury and now you control the supply. But as the company, you sold those tokens to get utility out of the tokens. And with you controlling the supply, that is useless. I had a discussion this morning in our Discord server about rebase, right? So a project went from rebase to no rebase, yet they give a guarantee that they buy back the token at a certain price. So at some point, the company holds 99% of the tokens and the project is done, right? Because they can't keep buying back the tokens and not putting them back into the supply, because that's basically, oh my God, I have a beautiful river, you can swim in it, but every time you want to swim, I take a fee, which is 1 bucket of water. In 2 years' time, there's no more river because you scooped out all the water. And then if you don't put in back water, then the river dries up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, I mean, on the side, let's say if you're a new project, I think then it's, or you have let's say a few exchanges, or I think it's that is the like just put a duct tape, you know, on a leaking hole in the ship, you know. It's like it will get not solve the problem, you know. And it's, I think we need to identify the project first, because, for example, best example, for example, YUGA, the ape coin, you know, because that's what they did, right? They take the ape coin to purchase the land, you know. But in that case, for example, they had a huge airdrop, right, in the very beginning.
Yeah, so they push the supply themselves, basically.
Yeah, so they take supply back because what they dropped, you know. And I mean, they had one of the most fantastic exchange listing days ever I saw. Really, like, everybody was there. So, and there is such a huge volume anyway trading on the token, right? You know. So if they charge now, you know, let's say they have 1 million volume and they charge on all their land the ape coin, then it makes no sense, you know. But they had, like, I think what was the 4.5 billion trading volume on release of ApeCoin in 24 hours, even more when it goes to when we had the other land. the other side land drop. So then it's okay if you make an airdrop, or if you want to no duct tape, yeah. No, if you make an airdrop, I think in that case really makes sense to do that. But if you know the roadmap, like they're basically building their own marketplace, so everything what is like the land, the quotas, the resources, everything will be traded in their own marketplace. You know, so and the ApeCoin is the payment method there. You know.
Yeah, no, I would say it's fair that like you said, if the volume is there and the liquidity of the company is there, then it makes sense, because I would assume that YUGA is not going to hold on to these ape coins forever. Some way in the future, they will bring them back into supply. They will liquidate it against US dollar or something, but it will go back into the market, because when the economy is big enough, the ape will otherwise reach a point where the economy or in-game or whatever, it will stagnate the process.
I mean,
so then they can influx it again. But if they control the economy, I love it when games or projects control their economy, but manipulation, because like you said, putting some duct tape there, the problem will come back. Because, for example, on which project did we just talk about? Well, let's say you buy back 40% of your token, right? You have 40% of your token in treasury, price goes up, right? Because there is less supply, same demand. And then because you can't hold that momentum, everybody's seeing that, oh, well, they did a good thing. They burned the tokens or whatever. Well, this is a buyback, not even a burn. So it goes up. And then over time, it goes down again, because people were hyped about the fact that, oh my God, like there's less, and then it goes down.
If
the problem comes back.
Coming, if there's, and this is something, and I know that, you know, people waiting in our community is burning. I said, we need something. I said, okay, what I can do, I cannot push the launchpad. I cannot build faster on a marketplace. I cannot build faster on an app.
Things
it's
take
something
time.
it's not in my possibilities. I can do, I can make now quick solution. I find just shitty developers and say, okay, you can build that for me in 5 weeks. Okay, we do. Pay cheaper. Is it quality? I don't know. Is it bug free? I don't know. Is it that what you want? I don't know. Yeah. So this is not what I'm standing for. Like, you know, so, and this is like, yeah, the token price go down, but it's no point for us to make buybacks at the moment when the market goes down. Yeah, and just to make the people in the community happy, or anybody, and who will win the most? This is the expert with bots, with arbitrage, with all that stuff. They will cut before you make profits. They will
and it's probably the guy that won't support you for the long term anyway.
No, of course not.
Right?
So
it's
never
useless.
someone who invested in you. He see just like, you know, there's like, oh, you promise a buyback. That's perfect chance to make a quick money. You know, you buy now, the buyback incoming, everybody prepare his bot, click. You see that the best tool is DEX tool to check how many bots are trading on your token, or any token. Check our token, there's bots, not too heavy, but Yield Guild, for example, I checked the other day. There's a bot made 700 Ethereum, I think, in a month, just, you know, by
front running and just picking up like this small transactions.
And the transaction always happens in the same second. You know, you make a buyback, the
buy
bot
sell
will already sell. You know, like, and you cannot, you know, the transaction is already like within, like, once this is starting, you press and the transaction is, you know, in the blockchain, then the other one is already making the transaction. You have no chance to do it if you have no bot, you know. And yeah, this is definitely you know, for me, these YUGA opportunities are, this is actually like, you know, what's happened, you know, like for me as well, like I wouldn't say it's always happened when Binance have a listing, yeah, but it's many times, and there's a good chance in Binance you make money just by when you buy the token, or if, for example, if the token is available on secondary market, and then it's get listed on Binance, you know. So there's like, let's say you can buy
like Falcon Forge, like first on the DEX and then it came to Binance, like that.
Yeah. So let's say you can buy it on Uniswap or PancakeSwap or any other DEX, let's say, and then the project get listed on Binance. There was yesterday a project called Galaxy something. it was, I think, I didn't check if it was before on DEX, but just to give you, like, sometimes in Binance is like the floor is now below 15 and it went up to 200, so it's like there is a moment, and you just press, if you hold a token, you just sell, and then you can be, if you're late, you can hit, but you cannot lose because it's not going, or you can maybe lose, but the point is
not as likely. Yeah.
All the time when everybody is looking on one thing, there is a price spike and then it goes down. And YUGA was for me, was like piling up. The ape token went up almost to, was $24. And then we sold all our ape tokens. We said, okay, thank you. Thank you, YUGA. And it was even like the appreciation and price was even there. We made even more return of investment we already had. And a lot of people made so much money with this. And then, just now buy back $13. So what was that? It's like, almost lose 50% of the price. There's not because of the market. It was just because there is at the moment no more use of ApeCoin, because.
Yeah, and the inexperienced people are left holding the bag at the end of the day, right? The people that just don't see it, that just blindly follow the hype. Because somebody has to pay the difference that you earned.
Yeah.
Sucks to be them.
No, but it's like also it's same with the NFT. Yeah? You can now we had 3 mutants, and Project Galaxy. You have the mutant, and you could have sold it 10 plus Ethereum. Yeah.
Yeah, my body sold for 39 and bought a different one back for 27, but now the floor today is 24. But still, I mean, amazing trade.
Yeah, exactly. So, and this is, I think you will see that more often with YUGA. Anytime, and CryptoPunks, we bought a CryptoPunk because we have also commercial rights on that. That's actually the point why. And YUGA also will work on CryptoPunks, 100%.
Was that like a custom deal that you did, or did you buy it from OpenSea? Because there's never anything listed, right?
No, you cannot buy on OpenSea. You always need to buy on Lava Labs.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. And of course you can, people, there's like, you can find them. And
how much was that? How much was it?
We paid 220.
Big boys.
Sick. Now it's.
I thought I had enough Ethereum, but you guys are at a different level.
Yeah, but this is, man, like, look at this. You have Bored Apes, we have commercial rights. CryptoPunks, we have commercial rights. There's already utility. CryptoPunks had no utility so far because they've been limited by Lava Labs, now, definitely, so, and YUGA own the IP, so they gave already a commercial rights. They will work on CryptoPunks. They already announced on the, other side that your Kennel, Mutant, Bored Ape, and the CryptoPunks, they get a free 3D model for the space. So that's the first thing. But they already talking about, like, they're gonna be most probably a mutant kennel, so you can mutate the kennels. So this is something possibly the Meebits will get an upgrade. Like, there's definitely a lot of things what you buy now if you have enough, and you just wait until YUGA develop. How much price impact this is, I don't know. This is pure speculation. Let's Elon Musk now tweet about freaking Bored Apes, and then you saw that yesterday.
Yeah, I did see it, and then he hated on it like an hour later, and the price went down.
Yeah, but the price went, first of all, up by 17 Ethereum. So this is.
Oh no, I followed I didn't follow the floor of the apes. I followed the ape coin, which was just like one candle up and then crash like an hour later.
I didn't check the ape coin. I was checking the floor price because you wanted actually to find an entry around 100 Ethereum on a Bored Ape, and it was 105. He put the profile picture, and it went up to 122 or something like that. I said, man, it's like now he's also influencing the Lava Labs. This I don't know. No, I don't know if Lava Labs in the way. Sorry. I think they're in US. I really don't know. I mean, also nice. You spend 200,000. You don't know much about the company.
Oh, the CryptoPunk, when you said it was 220 Ethereum or 220K USD?
USD, not in.
Oh, I thought 220 Ethereum.
No.
Ah, all right, fair enough.
Yeah, sorry. Enough. Okay, and no, it's ETH. It's ETH. No, I don't have. My CFO will not allow me that.
Okay, fair enough.
Not. I mean, the you know.
Maybe you should send her an email every day. Bored ape?
No.
Bored ape?
Then there would be like CryptoPunk, and then rest of the portfolio, and then CryptoPunk is even like have more on the total. No, that's too crazy. No, but 220, and we have already made maybe a 9K, I mean, if you want to sell it, So anyway, yeah, but I think YUGA and just to get back on the strategy, what we're going for with the noobs, I think it's a good strategy. We talked with Alan. He said, "Man, it's great. I mean, there's already utility. Basically, the app, by the way, is also then first of all, the app is free. The ones we develop. And then that's what I wanted to say actually. Okay, finish that. So I think noobs are covered. I mean, I'm happy to get feedback from your community about what we're planning, and we're happy to take on board the ideas. It's still early. We like to get people involved, of course. Also do some whitelist for Digitsclub, and so for UNIX, it's not really something heavy to do with nukes, but just to update anyone here. So we talk with Azure Games. I mentioned it, I think, already.
Yeah, last week. Yeah.
So yeah, I meet him today actually, maybe, but we had a call yesterday. I sent the whole proposal out, what we offer, what we will do, because they're also new in blockchain, and like for example, their first game, what they launch is access.io, and this is it's the first Azure game, and they might get a priority listing, but this is it's not confirmed. That's why I said might get, but that's the deal basically. They get priority listing on some of the games. Access is the first games. That's why they want that to be listed on Binance. And then of course, Binance want the exclusive on, because they're planning to release 55 games this year until next year. And of course, more coming because they're the third largest game publisher in the world. And Binance want basically an exclusive to cherry pick projects from these 55 games and future games to which one they want to have on their platform, right? On their exchange. So, but the deal is, okay, get access on Binance. And access is, I checked the launchpad, it's freaking engine starter. I have nothing against it, but I mean, there's so much space. Like if they got direct listing on Binance, that's huge, And engine starter is just waste. I'm not waste, not against engine starter, but there's why? And then I mean, it's because they didn't know all that stuff, So and what we want, or what we get, basically the same deal what Binance get for the games, the same deal and that's my proposal, DAO make a GameFi and final round, that we get an exclusive on all the launches, on all games. Yeah, so we can choose, pick whatever we do. Or is it DAO maker only? Is it final round? Is it GameFi? But of course, UNIX Gaming, not final round. So UNIX Gaming is the owner of that exclusive. So we still have kind of, a strong USP towards DAO maker and GameFi. And yeah, so this is a huge thing. And we not only do that, we also do basically in the back, we do fundraising, because we have the network, we have the contacts. We will split it among several tiers, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, because their games is not all AAA. They develop a lot of mobile games, and you don't need a large fundraising there. And I think the interesting part with Azure is because they are not only launching all these games, so they are the one the first game publisher really actually going into crypto. Like Ubisoft is a game publisher, Epic, whatever. Azure is, of course, more strong in mobile, but there is, they're huge and they're growing, and they can put millions of users on a game. If you check, they have on all their games, 100+ games, they have 150+ games, I believe. They have 30 million active users. Daily active user. This is massive. And if you launch one game blockchain, and in addition, Azure have developed an SDK, basically to make all games a blockchain game. With scholarship model, with marketplace, with token, all that stuff. The token use within the game. So what you need to do is you need to raise money, give the token liquidity, take the token, then of course create the token, and then you add them into the SDK plus all the NFTs, the contract addresses, and then it's done basically. So I didn't have yet the run through, but I understand we had a, how he explained it to me, the SDK developer, how it works. Yeah, it was pretty interesting. I mean, so they have a huge selling point here at the moment because they are first mover advantage. They're huge. 750 employees, they have several game studios. They just acquired another Vietnamese game studio with 130 employees. The next game, so access.io, that's the game what's coming. And also the important part is on how they go to the market is their games after announcement, the games are ready to play maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 months later. That's it. There's no 2 years roadmap.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's a huge thing.
Not a huge roadmap that you have to wait 2 years.
Exactly.
Inside as heroes.
And they don't care about the fundraising. So Access, even they're already going to the market. They are already developed. They only raise money because why not? They already developed, and their funding is still not closed. So basically, we also do now the last funding. Let's say what was it? The private was 3.5 million, and 2 million are still open because they just started the fundraising. They haven't done anything really. They closed the seed, of course, I think in April. But the game after release, and they're releasing maybe end of May, beginning of June, and then the game is live 1.5 months later. So it's really good. I mean, for the game. So
that will be the new standard likely moving forward. I see that a lot more, and it's good because then games don't overplay their hand raising money, or be upfront about the timeline. It becomes more transparent. But I think it's like a natural occurrence that investors also see this, right? The VCs, they see this, that the market moves more towards, do you need funding and we need to wait 2 years? The tokenomics will look different in that case. But actually, I got to run. I appreciate your time. I definitely look forward to the Azure update, hopefully next week, when you have even more details, because it's one of the big things. I had a call with Wildlife Studios from Brazil. They also have, well, they only do mobile only, but that's also definitely an interesting party. I sent it to Simon. I don't know if he spoke about it, but anyway, to conclude, the Noobs collection will be the major big thing. We'll keep our eyes open. We'll follow all your updates along the way. It's always a pleasure having you here, so I appreciate your time. And I hope, yeah, go ahead.
Just for next Friday, that's basically the day after arrival in Miami for the permissionless. So let's find someone from the team you might want to have on that. Sean is with me, and I know Sean and Simon, they're still, but yeah, I'm just with Nick as a CEO, CFO, and myself. We already on the 13th, we meet the first time in real person. So I'm gonna be a little bit busy on that day, but yeah, for the next Friday, for Friday after that, no problem. But just for that Friday, tell me what do you like to have on your show, and then
if Simon is free, that would be great. But otherwise, I'll just ping in the group and we can pick somebody. That's all good. But thanks for letting me know beforehand. That's great.
Yeah, of course.
I will tell Herman, and he will plan everything accordingly.
Yeah, and then please my calendar, yeah? Mr. Herman. But he gave me a little nap, so that was good. Thank you, Herman.
Yeah.
Shout out to Herman.
I will let him know that you appreciate the time. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for listening.
Rest for your day.
It was a pleasure, and see you. Bye-bye.
All right. Cheers. Bye-bye.